YouTube? I am Nintendo Man 64, bringing you the next episode, or series of episodes, of Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth. In the last episodes, we started out as our journey as Riku in Hollow Bastion, learned that we have no friends because we're a-holes, and thus now have to explore the emptiness of our minds and memories, and all things presently accounted for. There are many different rules as compared to playing Sora's version of Chain of Memories, i.e. you do not have any abilities whatsoever except for going into dark mode, no ability to command your deck, and your only friend is the rat. As you can see, I did a little bit of grinding off screen, basically to get our dark points up and to, well, get ourselves a little bit stronger, because not that the game has a drastic difficulty going forwards, but you know the drill. That circle is for warping. If you need to warp, you can. I see no reason why you should, but I digress. We got 4 world cards, all 4 worlds in which Riku traveled to in his journeys throughout the original Kingdom Hearts game. Neverland, Traverse Town, Agrabah, and Monstro. I'm going to be doing them in the order with which we see him in, i.e. we will be starting in Traverse Town. And as usual, right off the bat, here come the Heartless. Oh, wow. Oh, there they are. So what I'm going to be doing in this type of thing is also a bit of a special, you know, type of experimentation when it comes to my videos. Usually when I do these, there's a long, tedious bit of music for you guys to play. And I know you guys are probably entertained by that, but for the most part, I want to change a couple of things, and unfortunately for this game in particular, this game is very battle heavy, so you might want to set yourself up with something like this, and I don't want to see you guys just to see me bashing an endless supply of Heartless in while I level up Riku and get us deeper into the game. I am going to be cutting to the most important aspects, including boss fights. We do get 3 boss fights in this episode, so you guys should be happy about that. Them being Guard Armor, Jafar, and the last fight right beforehand, but I digress. So I'm going to be doing this thing for the remainder of this little side quest party let's play thing, just so we could get things going. I also want to go a little in depth on some of the story elements of Kingdom Hearts that I either don't have time to explain or things you might be questioning about when it comes to Riku's story, because Riku's a bit of an enigma, as we all know. He's part dark, part light, really good guy, awesome guy, my baby boy, and he's also an a-hole sometimes, so take with it what you will. I'm going to be cutting back to my normal video in a couple of seconds, so yeah, be right back. Okay, we finally made it to Guard Armor after all that magicalness. Guard Armor is taken down in 5 parts. Obviously, his 2 arms, his 2 legs, and then the torso. All 5 have different aspects of health, and as you know, with our really shitty Traverse Town deck, as I went in depth about how shitty some of the decks can be, we only have 5 friggin' cards. There's almost not even a point of using slates with Riku in this one. I mean, look, you only have 5 cards. What kind of a deck is that? But whatever. Guard Armor is not particularly challenging, as usual with these giant bosses, as we'll see throughout later fights, and we saw with the dragon when the Hollow Bastion. They only can attack with 1 card like Heartless ones, unlike normal base villains, like when we fought Ansem. They have, who have to fight with the decks. These guys get infinite cards, but they can only throw 1 at a time. No combos, and easily breakable cards, and oh my god. The only thing that sucks about Guard Armor is that he's friggin' in the air, and thank god I got a gimmick card. Yeah, in case you don't know, those gimmick cards are really useful, but didn't really matter because we won. Because we're awesome like that. No experience, so yay. Well, we didn't level up. We did gain some experience. but not enough for it to be important. Not nearly enough for it to be important. Thankfully, the second level, at least compared to both Hollow Bastion and other levels to come, is incredibly small, so all we have to do is just go back and up and in, and we don't even have to go into that one room. Thanks to me clearing out all those GD Heartless. Alright, we got a bunch of those, so let's use those. Because why not? Any low enemy card is a friend of mine. You know, unless, of course, they're Heartless or in Traverse Town like they are now and they suck. Which I do greatly appreciate. Sometimes I do want an early, nice cushion. Hollow Bastion was a little crazy with the friggin' cards that the guys could have. I mean, those guys with the shields could have, like, 9s, and the friggin' wizards had 7, and the friggin' dragon things were, like, getting, like, 90 hits with one card. Like, could you have started me off with, like, just these guys, like the shadows? But no. Especially in later Kingdom Hearts games when those shadows actually start to become formidable. Almost to the point where when you're looking at these Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, hopefully it's out by the time I'm talking, this is getting uploaded. The Heartless are actually like becoming like vortexes and tornadoes and death and stuff. So they are becoming formidable. Granted, that was already in the Fragmentary Passage in 2.8, but the Fragmentary Passage was basically just an experiment to see if the Unreal Engine could work with Kingdom Hearts, and by God did it work! Beautifully. In case you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, the Fragmentary Passage is the last part of the story of Birth by Sleep, which they just decided to make, just, again, to test to see if the Unreal Engine could work with Kingdom Hearts. And it could. But I'm not going to be playing that until we get to, until I've gotten to Dream Drop Distance, which, thankfully, if my schedule is any indicator, won't be for a while. Not that I don't like the game, but I've kind of saturated the market on Kingdom Hearts, and also I want to focus on Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out. It's getting closer by the day, guys. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Oh yeah, I forgot I was supposed to talk during these. Oh well. Well, Heartless. Heartless things. Now this cut is not entirely that long, so I'm not going to go in depth on certain enemies and story elements, so yeah, Heartless things, excitement, and other things, and death and despair, and Riku getting buffer than hell, because he's my baby boy and he deserves it. Holy guacamole, I forgot how many Heartless were in there. Alright, let's keep going. Ooh, more story. I've identified the scent. It's Riku. Riku? But Riku is gone. He and that king were lost when they ventured beyond the door to darkness. Interesting. How could he have escaped? Riku once shouldered the darkness. Perhaps that made him half-dark. And that's why you mistook him for the superior. Fascinating. The dark power given to Riku facilitated his escape from the realm of darkness. One with ties to both the Keyblade and the powers of darkness. This merits further research. Vexen and his horny research. Whatever. What I want to know is why Riku appeared here in Castle Oblivion. Ha! That's simple. His existence resonates with that of another hero. Sora came, so Riku followed. That's what she said. Yes, I'm that immature, but you know. Sora's in the castle? Yes, he and his companions arrived earlier. By now, that dog Marluxia is already using Naminé to meddle with Sora's heart. Interesting. I had no idea. And you're supposed to be the smart one, Zexy. I'm very disappointed in you. I don't think Marluxia plans to hand Sora over, but he can play his little game. If he gets Sora, then we need only acquire Riku. If he truly is like the superior, then we will be untouchable. I don't want you to come anywhere near me, you creepo. So I'm gonna go as far away from this castle as humanly possible. Like, maybe to, like, the deserts of Agrabah. I don't know. Maybe. You're just creepy, Vexen. And I don't like you being a creep. The whale, Neverland. You definitely like Neverland, you creep. So Monstro or Agrabah is my best bet. So yeah, let's go to Agrabah. I don't think a guy like Vexen does well outside, and especially in the blistering desert suns of the Arabian Peninsula. Oh, crap, did not mean to do that. I meant to go after the barrel, but whatever. Our deck changed again. This one's actually not that bad. The Agrabah deck is actually pretty good. There are decks I will complain about. Agrabah's is not one of them. Especially since now that we have all these villain cards that we can basically just breeze our way through a lot of these things now. Which I hope, because Traverse Town certainly didn't help. And judging from the looks of all these friggin' fat bandits that I'm going to be running into, Agrabah doesn't seem to be wanting to help us either. Now, in case you guys are a little troubled by the story, and you have been having a hard time following, Riku was basically cast away in the darkness a long time ago when the Destiny Islands fell into darkness, and he fell into the clutches, the loving embrace of one Maleficent, who, along with the other Disney villains, essentially manipulated Riku into thinking that all of his friends and stuff were abandoning him and were holding him back from what he was truly capable of doing. This, in turn, is why he can't really see anybody other than the bad guys that he had dealings with in the past. So, in this case, instead of running into Aladdin and Jasmine here, spoilers, he's only going to encounter Jafar. But I bet you guys figured that out by now. Alright, another bit of things to go around and back. Another thing that might you guys be puzzled with was they're talking a lot about how Riku has ties to the Keyblade. Well, I know this is going to get revealed in a later Let's Play, but Riku actually was the original wielder of the Keyblade. When he stole the weapon, or quote-unquote stole the weapon from Sora and Hollow Bastion in the first game, he was actually reclaiming the weapon as his own. He wasn't just stronger than Sora, he was the one that was entitled to the Keyblade and was bequeathed it by one of the Birth by Sleep crew, which we will see when I tackle that game eventually. But because Riku had such close ties to the darkness, the Keyblade essentially decided it was not going to deal with somebody who works with the dark, because the Keyblade is essentially a weapon of light, and thus decided to give itself to the next best light and the next best option down the line, which was, of course, Sora. Now, this definitely put a damper on Riku as a person, because after this game in particular, when he starts to understand who he is and what he's capable of, this starts Riku's real character journey. Specifically because Riku sort of doesn't know who he is after this, because the darkness is all he had known. And with Maleficent gone and Ansem still burrow deep in his heart, he's sort of lost, and he doesn't really have a real place in the world. So, generally speaking, Riku could probably use more guidance for the Keyblade, and that's essentially what starts his true character path that we've seen in 2, that we saw in a bit in Days when he was in the game, and essentially what we will see in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which is the next. In terms of chronological order, it would make sense to go there next, but we're going to go to Birth by Sleep because I do not want to keep answering questions of who's that, who's this, who's that, who's this, who's this, who's that, why is that guy an old guy? Because I'm going to go in depth on Birth by Sleep first, deal with that game, and all of its shortcomings and high comings, and then go to Dream Drop Distance. And then, of course, Fragmentary Passage, and finally, Kingdom Hearts 3, which, again, I am hoping to the Lord above has come out by the time I upload this video. Oh my god, I just want that game here now. I want it here now. I want it here now. I'm going to be like Veruca Salt and Willy Wonka. Daddy, I want it now. And then my dad will beat me and be like, what the hell's wrong with you? You shouldn't be playing games. And then I'll be like, well, you shouldn't be doing things that you like to do. And then it'll get awkward and then we'll stop. You know all that drill. By now, at least. Alright, so we're coming up onto the Jafar fight pretty soon, so I'm going to cut back to my old-timey voice, so I will see you guys the next time we have to cut, which should be when we go to Monstro, if I'm not mistaken, so I'll be right back. Holy guacamole. Alright. Bring it on, Jafar! Jafar, like the other big bosses, only gets to throw one card out at a time. And similarly to his fight in the original game and in the original Chain of Memories, you have to attack Yago instead of attacking him. So, essentially, yeah. Nice try. Nice try, Jafar. I know you like to cheat like that, but I ain't gonna... Crap. Rise, platform, so I can beat the bird! That didn't sound right, but I don't care. I did it my way. Holy crap, Jafar's going down fast! That's just how high my attack power is, I guess. Usually at this point when I play this game, I'm like level 10, level 11. I don't really do a lot of leveling up. Or grinding. But in this case, it seems to be doing me wonders, and... yeah! I just downed an evil genie. Yay! I don't know why they chose... I guess because by default. Because, I mean, we don't technically see Riku in Agrabah. We only hear it from the inflections after we sealed the keyhole that he did kidnap Jasmine. Because Jafar is incompetent and he couldn't even do that. Let's break the barrel. Break the barrels! Thank God I haven't run into one of those pot spider things. I'm not a fan of them, and they're not a fan of me. But yeah, of all the worlds, Traverse Town makes sense because that's where we see Riku for the first time after the islands are destroyed. Ah, crap, I spoke too soon. Neverland makes sense because that's where we see Riku at his most dickish. And, Monstro makes sense because that's when we see that he actually truly has become evil. Or at least is fighting alongside the forces of evil. A.K.A. Maleficent, Jafar, all them. All them. But I guess because by default they needed another world that Riku had at least ties to. Because we couldn't just have him in 3 worlds and then ship off Agrabah and all the other ones that he didn't show up in the back. And he did have a conversation with Hades. Where all Hades was just like, yeah, what the hell, I'll get these guys. Where Hades was all like, "Aw, Jafar could have won if Riku had helped." Look, if Jafar was entrusting his lamp to Yago, he was already lost. You cannot rely on Yago to do anything except be a pest. Volts. I wish there was another game where like Disney villains interacted like they do in Kingdom Hearts. It's so rare these days. Like, usually it's them just trying to hog the spotlight from each other. But I like these villain team-ups. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I do like them. Alright, let's get another Sleeping Darkness. Maybe my wishes will be rewarded one day, but for now, we got places to go. Oh god, bad touch! Stop it! Go away with your weird face. Who are you? Are you with Ansem? Who is not handsome because he's working with a pedophile like you? You are half correct. Let us say that it's not the Ansem you know. Zemus! He is Ansem and he is not, which is to say, he is nobody. Nobody, huh? Sorry, riddles aren't my thing. Try making some sense. Oh, Riku, I love you. You're such a good boy. He belongs to neither light nor the dark, but walks the twilight between. Zemus! Oh man, I got a bad cold. As do I. And for that matter... Haha, that's right. We have much in common. Maybe we do. But so what? Is that an invitation to join your club? Yeah, there's darkness inside me, just like you said. But darkness is my enemy. And you are too, for making everything around here reek of it. Ooh, good job, Riku. Hit the bad touch guy. So it's a fighty one. Ah, you like to be all feisty. As you'll recall from our fights in Chain of Memories, and as the absent silhouette in Kingdom Hearts 2, Vexen is a butthead who likes to use a shield. Prevents us from doing any frontal damage to him, and thus makes our jobs a little bit more difficult. The most annoying part about this fight is that you don't even get the Vexen card for this. I know the reason why, and it's because the Vexen card has the elemental issue with it, whereas you're doubly affected by fire attacks. But I would like to think that, you know, we're into that area where we don't really care if Riku gets hit by those. But no, you do not get the Vexen card, sorry, which as you can see, is one auto life. So when you knock Vexen out of his health, he will gain a bit of it back during the fights, but hopefully we could just blast him with darkness and call it a day. And thank God my Faraga is definitely homing. I don't know what I'd do if it wasn't. Especially since apparently it can just burst through shields. And now Dark Aura. Shablam, 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 shablam. That's better. Ah, crap. There we go. I did waste one. There we are. Alright, another one. Dark Aura. Shablam. Oh, wow, that's not doing a lot of damage. I thought it would at least do some damage. Whatever. And there he goes, getting some of his health back. Mickey, heal me. Reload my deck. Perfect. You are, like, making my day so difficult, Vex, and I hope you realize that. Just as long as you basically can stay behind him, you'll basically be fine, but... I don't know, sometimes it can be difficult. They'll give you the they won't give you the Vexen card, but they'll give you the Jafar card, which breaks this game. I don't know, whatever. At least I get a level up. And let's give myself an HP boost, because I earned it. Ha ha ha! This battle has made it clear. What has it made clear? I don't want to know what it's made clear. The darkness coursing through you was a tremendous power. All you needed was the right provocation. God, I don't want to know what you mean by that. Great, so this was a trick? Yes, he wanted you to bash his brains in. Your fiery reaction provided just the data I needed. You have my thanks, Riku. Go away and never come back, you creep.